What's up, beautiful people? In today's episode, we are going to cover how works the basic structure of a HTML file. This structure is common even or in all HTML page in the web, so you don't have to worry to about maybe remember or memorize the specific tags because tools like Visual Studio Code help us to create this basic structure using the Emmet tool. Emmet maybe has their own history that we are not to cover just right there, but if you only have to understand that if you use the exclamation mark, you see this, and if you type enter, you get the last structure. But I recommend maybe remove this one until you don't understand how it works. But we are going to cover each HTML tag to understand why we use them. For example, the first one is doc type HTML. This is easy one because it is used to define the documents type. Like, for example, if we are talking about JSON or we are talking about TXT, like text. In this case, we are telling to the clients like web browsers or else that the actual file is HTML and has to be interpreted like HTML. The second one, but well, this is important. The doc type, I almost forget it, is a it's not auto closing tag, but as you can see, it doesn't close in other place. It's just doc type HTML. But the next tag, like HTML, close at the end of the file. This is important one because HTML the HTML tag will contain all the web page content, including two important tags, head and body. Maybe it's not necessary to remember this because HTML tag in a correct semantic way only has two possible tag childrens, and that there are head and body. For example, you can use H1 like heading one outside of body and maybe as a direct children of HTML. Well, this is possible because if we save this and open the web browser and just check it the content, you are going to see the H1 label. Let me see, hello, to see something. And if we open this, for example, Google Chrome, you are going to see hello. But I already say you guys that, I already tell you guys, the HTML is only a semantic rule. I mean, what I mean, that you can do whatever you want, but there are some specific semantic rules that you have to follow to develop correct web apps or correct web page, because page and apps maybe has a big difference that we are going to cover in the next episode. But if you don't worry about that, it's like use the exclamation mark and bring the actual configuration. As you can see in the head and the body, there are different types or contain different types of HTML tags. For example, in head, we are going to include the meta information tag. What is that? In few words, meta information is just information that will be used for clients like web browser to understand how to how your page work. For example, my page used the chart set or the character encoding UFT8 that maybe is one of the most used encoding character because use all the Latin characters and maybe is something obvious, but in this case is necessary. For example, for me as a Spanish native speaker, I used to use this letter that is so common in Spanish. But for example, if we try to open the page just right now and see the content, you can see the ñ word, the ñ letter works perfectly. But if we remove the chart set, save, and reload the web page, you are going to see strange characters that I don't know why it doesn't work right now. Maybe let's see some accents that are pretty common, pretty common in Spanish, for example, this, and reload the web page. Well, in this case, I don't know why this is not working, but maybe my web browser are inferring the chat encoding, but in other cases, this won't work. For example, if we use meta and specify char set and I don't know, maybe other one, I'm not sure. Well, there is a so extensive explanation if you are interested, but well, I'm not try to force but character encoding, so let's use if H8 and that's all. In other hand, we use viewport, and viewport help us to specify a style depending on the device. You don't have to worry about this because we are talking about styles that is included in CSS course part. But yeah, maybe in this case viewport for you is like, okay, the available space in the screen to see information. In my case, we are on a computer, we have all these viewport. Well, not only the strange characters, all the blank page. And if we decrease the web page like this, we are decreasing the viewport, and well, that's the viewport, right? For example, if I decrease in this way, the viewport is so little, but enough to see the content. So that's right. Okay, this all perfect. And maybe the most important tag for now into the head tag is title. Title is used to specify the title or the name tab in the web browsers. For example, just right now is document. As you can see, my tab name is document, but if you change this, like my web page, save and reload the page, you are going to see my web page. It's the only important part into the head tag. In other hand, into the body tag, we are going to use all the tags related to display information that as see in the last episode, well, in the previous episode, like H1 to 6, a paragraph, video, image, any other type of resource we are going to cover into the body section. And in this episode, we are going to cover the most used HTML tags like these ones. Maybe to make simple this explanation, these are the most used HTML tags even in all your web developer career. There are a lot of more, but in this case we are going to cover these ones because are the most common thanks to their functionalities. For example, in this case, well, the heading is something obvious, but help us to define the well, I'm going to increase the zoom, help us to define the information hierarchy. And maybe people can asking, well, what are the difference between hidden? Is I'm just see, well, the hidden one is bigger than the hidden two and bigger than the hidden three. But remember how is the HTML or how HTML works in the way that we use semantic hierarchy or semantic importance. In this case, if we are creating a web page, we are going to using headings according the maybe section or the level of importance of the information. In my case, or well, in talking about um, semantic rules, when Google's web crawler, that is a tool used to index specific webs into the Google Chrome search engine, recommend that we only has to use one hidden one per web page. In this case, only one time, because the hidden one is important to set the main title topic. For example, if we are going to talk about, I don't know, pop music, my hidden one will be something related with the main topic. Like, I don't know, pop music in 80s. If we are talking about programming, maybe HTML programming, and all my post content is related with that specific topic, my hidden one will be HTML. That's maybe a basic or how to understand it, something like that. And meanwhile, I'm being develop my post. I am going to use different headings to split the different section of my web. For example, if we are going to talk about three subjects about the HTML, we are going to use for each object the hidden two. And if each sub-object has other objects, we are going to use the hidden tree. And that's why we use the semantic way to split the content and give a little order. Not only for us, is also important to web browser indexers. I don't know how to say that. To get our page and recommend in the, I don't know, number one, number two, number three Google Chrome page. And in other hand, we have paragraph. Paragraph is important. I also want to make the appointment that the styles are not relevant because it's only like default styles. Maybe if we go to, well, this one and select this one. Okay, in this section, maybe it's a little. Okay, that's right. As you can see, we have a predefined or default styles, and these styles depends on the web browser, in my case Google Chrome, but these styles could be changed in the future, so are not relevant. The I already say the only importance or relevancy about HTML tags is the semantic role. So continue with the paragraph. Paragraph is so used because it's the standard HTML tag to represent any type of information. Maybe in my HTML post, I am going to use paragraph to include all the information about my main topic, HTML, the basics, or something like that. So we are going to use paragraph in each section to give content. That's all. There is nothing more important than that. In this case, we are going to use paragraph just right there, and so on. In this way, we are going to include information in each section, and well, that's all. Is if you want to understand how web development works, when we talk about frontend, about web page that run in web browsers, we are talking about interface. And in some cases, the interface is not an interface at all. It's just maybe a presentation slide to give to the people information about a specific topic, like the, I don't know, a lot of web page just right now. But on the other hand, exist web apps like, I don't know, calculators, even games, watch movies, series, and that's called like web apps, not like web page, because web apps has a little more level of complex, and in this case we are only use basic tags to represent a standard or basic information. So, but these are the basis how to how to build or how to develop complex app, like, I don't know, Netflix, some games that run in web environments, and that's all. And the last ones are the anchor tag and the image tag, that also so use because anchor help us to redirect the traffic to another page. In this case, I am setting the anchor to the edge, or maybe the hyperlink to the Google, to google.com. If I click link, my webpage will change to the Google homepage, and that's all. In maybe we have another targets, if I'm not wrong, like blank, and this help us to avoid change the current page and open another one. Okay, that was the default behavior. The other behavior is maybe, let me see, self. That means we are going to, okay, I forget to reload the page, and I am very lazy just right now. It's like blank, save, reload the page please, and open the link. And as you can see, the actual page wasn't changed for the new ones. It's only still open. On the other hand, we have the image that allows put image in the web browser. For example, I'm using a URL just because I'm lazy and I don't want to download an image, but also we can use the physical part of our computers to put image. In my case, only a web page, and use this alternative tag that help us people maybe about accessibility, blind guys, or maybe if the internet connection is not good at all and doesn't load the original image, help people to understand, okay, what should be the content of the image if the image doesn't load. In this case, placeholder image. Maybe let me give us an example using an image downloaded in my computer, and we can end with the video. So I have this one about the pincher, yeah, the dog. I highly recommend that once you download any resource that you want to share with in your page, move the resource into the web page folder to access in a more easiest way. In this case, just as a slide, or just bring the forum inside the same folder as index.html, and I can use the relative path to specify, well, please use the pincher.apg, jpg, I'm not sure, and save. And before we can reload the page, well, the image is so huge, but we have this image. But also there are a recommendation about this, because as you know, we are running web apps, or we are running web application, and in this case we can use, for example, pincher. And maybe if I'm too lazy, because I'm too lazy, I don't want to download this particular image, but I I can copy the image address, return to my web page, replace the actual image, and use the link. And instead of download and use a physical path, we can use the URL and load that particular image. So it's something useful if you want to avoid, I don't know, download 10, 12 image from web and use directly the image link. So I hope this video will helpful. It's important to understand that HTML are only tags, and the importance about that tags is only, okay, I don't know, maybe okay, that's right. The importance is based on the semantic. Semantic is all the main topic about HTML. You have to remember also each HTML tag, but also has to remember the semantic inherence to understand how works, how the web page content is structured, and how to use specific tags like anchor or image to use links or image. So I hope this video was helpful, and see you in the next time. Bye bye.